evening. Thank you so much for joining us for our main news bulletin. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. A consortium of CSO'S challenged former President Edgar Lungu to make his political stance known. The Catholic Church appeals to President HICHILEMA to help fight alleged fraud in tender awards. Opposition leaders condemn the monthly fuel price review. In international news, thousands celebrate departure of French ambassador from Niger. And in sports news, DIABLES defeat FC MUZA by 2-0. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Do join me with the details shortly.
Live your dream today by playing Nawina Lotto and stand a chance to win up to 2,000 kwacha every day.
And in order to play Zambia's most trusted lottery, first make sure you have money in your mobile money account.
In order to stand a chance to win, you need to follow these steps. Step number 1, dial *388*6#. Step number 2, select option 1 to buy your ticket. Step number 3, select option 5, which is Camnet. Step number 4, buy 1 ticket for 5 kwacha, 2 tickets for 10 kwacha, or 10 tickets for 50 kwacha. Number 5, enter your mobile PIN to confirm your purchase.
After buying your tickets, you will be entered into the day's draw and a unique code will be sent to you via SMS.
Draws will be done every day right here on Camnet TV, and the winners will be announced right here on Camnet TV every day at 19 hours. Remember, the more tickets you buy, the higher chances of winning. Get busy!
That's a report I was given. Ati sayendako bosi ati mizako muntu eka nitupumuleko please tulinama banja knife speta chambe nyambo konkera, because if I don't go to their doorsteps, the relation is a sira. Better vis-a-vis. Let me start dealing with this vis-a-vis. From a doorstep, head on.
At your doorstep. Time 11 hours to 12 hours every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and repeats from 18 to 19 hours every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
And now the news in detail. Kabwata constituency CDF chairperson Chilekwa Munkonge has disputed allegations made by an Akonde member of parliament, Kalalwe Mukosa, that government has been failing to release all the resources budgeted for under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Mr. Munkonge says government has prioritized the release of CDF funds and that his constituency has received all the CDF resources for 2022 and 2023 as opposed to allegations that the said funds have been paid in full. Mr. Munkonge says the constituencies who have not fully utilized the resources due to failure to submit the workable proposals are the ones who have failed to utilize the resources and not the other way around. He has advised Mr. Mkosha to counter-check with the ward chairpersons in his constituency on how much they have received so far and why the resources are not fully being utilized as opposed to pinning it on the government, which has done its part well.
Secondary school. However, coming to the issue, I think the Honorable was not very sincere in the sense that what I know, all the CDF funds are the first priority in the New Dawn government and they are funded in full, except that some constituencies, they are failing to exhaust the 28.3 million. So what the government is doing, not the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance is releasing the whole amount, but probably the Minister of Local Government and Housing. They are not releasing if you haven't exhausted the money. Immediately you exhaust the whole money, this money is coming in full in all our accounts. So, for instance, for the Honorable Member of Parliament to say that maybe I'm sure he hasn't exhausted the funds which were funded in 2022. because it's like they are piling monies which they are not using. So for the area member of parliament to say that, I think let him check with the Minister of Local Government and let him check with his CDF chairperson to see how much has been funded for 2022 and 2023. In my case as CDF chairperson for Kabwata constituency, all the monies are being released in full because we have so many projects and these monies are being exhausted from our account. Immediately you do that, in fact what they have said is that you make a budget according to the 28.3 million which have been given. And this is what we are doing. So for the area member of parliament to say that, I think it's just politicking. Anyway, it's one of those things, maybe when he wants to politic, he wants people to hear him saying something. Let him say something, but let him say something which is sensible.
The Community Action Against Corruption, CASC, has called on economists and the Economic Association of Zambia to provide factual and impartial analysis on the 2024 budget for the citizens to understand what is being proposed for the coming year. CASC Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo observes that each time the Minister of Finance presents the national budget, some economists provide budget analysis which is contrary to what the budget would achieve for the people in a particular year. Mr. Tembo believes economists are key players in determining their ability to attain projections of the budget regardless of external and internal market forces to the benefits of citizens.
Advise the economists and the Economic Association of Zambia members who are the experts in the field of economics to be very factual and realistic when analyzing the national budget so that they can avoid giving analysis that at the end of the day proves to be very contrary to what the budget can achieve in a particular year. You know, each time the Minister of Finance presents the national budget, these experts will swarm the media and start giving analysis that raises a lot of hope and expectations in the people. But at the end of the day, whatever they predicted proves to be contrary to what the budget can achieve in that particular year. You know, as Community Action Against Corruption, we expect these people who are experts to be people who can predict the economy or the economic performance of the budget, not very much far away from what the budget itself can achieve. But in the past years, we've seen budget performance predictions that are too contrary to what the budget itself can achieve. So this should be avoided so that people can have that confidence in these experts once they analyze the budget.
The opposition All People's Congress leader, Nason Musoni, has expressed worry that the monthly fuel increments in the country is allegedly causing a crisis for citizens. Mr. Musoni tells Camnet News that government should be concerned about the welfare of the citizens, unlike making profits, and attributed the decrease in infant and adult nutrition levels to the increase in fuel prices as it triggers the cost of food. He has also quashed the assertion by government during the presentation of the 2024 national budget that the reintroduction of subsidies would translate in taking away free education. Meanwhile, Citizens First Party has expressed disappointment on what it terms the stubbornness of the government on the continued increase of fuel pump prices on a monthly basis.
Feelings of what our citizens, what our people are going through. Okay, it's not enough merely to pursue profits. It's not enough to merely threaten citizens that if we reintroduce subsidies, it means that we have to take away free education. We think that this is tantamount to holding citizens hostage. Okay, the cost of living has gone beyond the reach of the overwhelming majority of our citizens. And I think the time has come when this government must consider reintroduction of subsidies.
Are suffering. You cannot continue inflicting pain like the government is not there. You were elected to save the people of Zambia. This quarterly, this monthly review of prices of fuel is also very disappointing. It's difficult for businesses to plan. It's difficult for people or citizens to plan. We have called on government to do, quarterly review of this price of fuel, but they have also refused to adhere to that. So we don't know now what the government is going to listen to, or who they are going to listen to, because this is now getting worse.
A consortium of undersigned civil society organizations have advised former President EDGAR Lungu to come out in the open and state whether he is in active politics and stop robbing the state of the resources that could be channeled to needy areas when he understands they exhibit in political activism. Operation Young Vote Education Director Ges Nyirenda says the response of Mr. Lungu to the call by the former PF Deputy Secretary General Mumbi Piri that he should withdraw his resignation letter and suffered alongside the Zambian people is not befitting that of a former head of state who is opposed to be a statesman. Mr. Nyirenda also says the stance and behavior of former President Lungu are causing the fortunes of the former ruling party to be formidable. Meanwhile, political activist Michael Zulu says Mr. Lungu is a statesman and that whatever he says will be interpreted differently, hence the need for him to act responsibly.
A group of civil society organizations have appealed to former President EDGAR Lungu to stay away from active politics. Recently, Mr. Lungu pulled a Nalitumpa stunt at the courts, which has gone viral and getting mixed reactions. This comes on the backdrop of Republican Vice President Mutaina Rumango calling out the former president to state clearly whether he was in active politics or retired.
It's important to come out because your followers must know who you are.
Now Mr. Lungu has attracted the attention of these civil society organizations who have urged him to live up to his office and save the former ruling party, the Patriotic Front, from absolute collapse.
And among those nominated is not the president or the former president. Now, it's like there's a feeling or there's some arrangement that is going about that he may want to come back. But look, we do expect that he should come out in the open, whether he comes back or not. Counted himself so privileged and lucky to have just gotten this on a silver platter. And after getting it on a silver platter, he should have left in peace and went to enjoy what he's supposed to enjoy. But alas, we are seeing contrary things.
Speaking during a press conference, Operation Young Vote Executive Director Ges Nyirenda asked that the response Mr. Lungu gave when advised to withdraw his resignation letter from cabinet office is also questionable.
And seemingly there was some kind of entertainment to that response. We don't know whether it was solicited or not, but we suspect probably because this is a person, they were together in the ex-core of the political party, or they are still together if you like.
Adding their voices to the matter, political activist Michael Zulu and Anti-Voter Apathy Project Executive Director Lichwa Mulwani urged Mr. Lungu to be a statesman he is.
Of UPND supporters, UPND members, Socialist Party members, all these political parties, he is former president, he is their leader. And so Mr. Lungu, should be seen to unite the country because some of his utterances, whether we like it or not, they are being used for political mileage.
What is important for him is to show that he is a dignified man and where people can go and consult, where other people from other countries, the young generation, the young people who want to aspire for leadership, he can surely mentor them through me.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
A non-governmental organization, Mental Users Network of Zambia, MUZA, says there is need to construct community-based counseling centers at health facilities as government embarks on the construction of mini hospitals in 2024. MUZA chairperson Mulima Kasote says seeking mental health services in the country is proving difficult due to lack of adequate facilities in the country. Meanwhile, a mother to a mental health victim in Lusaka's Kabanana West area says accessing medical attention for her 27-year-old son has been a challenge due to the distance. She tells Camnet News in an interview that it is challenging to access Chainama Health Facility, especially at night when the son experiences a mental relapse. Here's a report.
Issues like these are regarded as taboo topics in many African societies with limited access to medical healthcare services. Young Africans struggling with mental health are left to their own devices. With only one mental health facility in the country, Chainama Hills Hospital, coupled with fewer trained mental health personnel, as of 2020, Zambia had 425 mental health nurses countrywide. This is a 27-year-old man in Lusaka's Kabanana area who suffers from a mental health disorder where he loses memory, at times has mood swings, loss of appetite and loss of speech, among others. Mother to the victim, Aki Musonda, not his real name, explains what happens.
Mwala mseving efya kula mwamona fetale eliyo mweka ile alena nifati na limbi ale shaking afyo mto fida so. Limbi mawo kwa le pila fya masaini fida tini njikuta. Njipana na ishibati hapa pali problemu ya ingila. Sometimes limbukuya mukusamba na mubika fyame nshimona beba kasambe ntabayimo kutwale ya mukusamba na ishibati hapa pali ninkwatomwa na umulumendo woshide umfa bwino ulumendo so mukumusunga kwakwe nikwata ma challenges ayo nshire kwanisha umuti bampero wa 10 days muri 10 days umutinga wapo ndefa ikafutu kwa mkumusendera umbi lo mutalefa ikukumisi ngokunwa so limbia sang na sangwa tishkwete transport the more namshitejile uyo muti ya daily kunkapota nweni nishinabosha futi problem kunoma.
The mother of the 27-year-old male also explains one of the challenges she goes through in taking care of her son, which includes the inability to afford for transport for her son to seek medical attention at a health facility, especially during a relapse or medical review.
Wanalimbia kwata problem tulofa yukumyo kumutwala ku review transport yako imaine na yena nshkwete suma kuno Kabanana West wana mfanga tax at 500 600 mkweta 100 kwacha na afiro pala patient ashara na forcing kana aneka kuli nje kwa for facing a patient na alondora fine pakano ne ushiri patient chichata tafinko serata fire panga sense.
The Mental Health Users Network of Zambia MUZA chairperson Mulima Kasote, who has also been living with a mental health disorder for 36 years, says mental health in Zambia lacks adequate funding and implementation of the Mental Health Act of 2019, which advocates for health facilities to have counseling centers.
Of years now, the allocation to mental health within the whole health budget is very, very small. I think if I'm correct, it's less than 1% of the whole health budget. So that's where everything stems from. If the sector is very poorly funded, then it affects everything else, the infrastructure.
In Zambia, mental health care funding accounts for less than 1% of the overall budget each year, while on the floor of the National Assembly, Finance and National Planning Minister Dr. Stombeko Musokotwane disclosed that about 135 mini hospitals will be constructed in 2024. One hopes mental health issues will be considered. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Munali Member of Parliament Mike Mposha has visited a woman from Kawambwa in Luapula Province who is in Lusaka seeking government's intervention for her to be employed in the education sector so that she can take care of her 3 children. Susan Mwale, who has a disability of blindness, says she has been applying to be recruited under the Ministry of Education as a teacher, but that luck has not been on her side and that she has no means of taking care of her 3 children. She explains that she is a holder of a diploma in education and married to a person living with albinism who is equally unemployed. Meanwhile, Mr. Mposha has donated foodstuff to the woman, and he has assured the woman that government is committed to employing all qualified personnel and has promised to help her family get more help from the Ministry of Community Development.
Munali Member of Parliament Mike Mposha has visited a woman from Kawamba district of Luapula province who is in Lusaka seeking government's intervention for her to be employed in the Ministry of Education as she has no means of taking care of her 3 children, among them a set of twins. The woman, identified as Susan Mwale, explains that she is living with a disability of blindness, but that not even a disability has stopped her from acquiring tertiary education, as she is a qualified teacher from a named university, but that she was left out of the recruitment of the 30,000 teachers in 2022, making it difficult for her to now take care of her family.
Which year was that?
In 2022.
Okay.
So, negative watusha. So nomba mkulolera tibale kupangira makuru apsina mana bakokola sona sako kilama kukawamba. Kuliana sa nomba nakwata na twins February. Then nomba fyashupa nomba impia takuli inganda kusongera fyashupa. Ifyakulia abana so nomba ata festing konke nomba president bali kwata sana olose festing nganalanda nabe nalimbi bara mwanafyo baranga kuisha ko so chalengere nomba kuyima kwisa
Miss Mwale also says she is married to a person living with albinism who is currently not employed.
I'm blind. Then my husband is not working, but he's a disabled as well. He's an albino.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So just doing my small business now, the capital. So about I was taking if you want to
in Mansa or in Kawamba?
Meanwhile, her story has caught the attention of Munali Member of Parliament Mike Mposha, who Sunday morning visited her to hear more of her story and donate different foodstuff to her and the children.
When I heard your story, I said, no, I'll visit. It took a bit long. It's been almost 3 weeks now, but I thought that I should come and see you, see the kids, and also to hear your story. I know that you briefly talked about it, so I said, no, let me come today to visit the family and just appreciate where you are, and also just to share a few things for the children.
The minister has since assured that he will engage the Ministry of Community Development to see how best she can be helped. Meanwhile, sister to Miss Mwale, identified as Grace Piri, is grateful for the visit of the minister and is optimistic that the visit will culminate in helping her sister in order for her to have a means of taking care of her 3 children.
Muchaka chanje
2002.
So 2002 yani 2003 ninatanga mikira kuti nimpeleke ku school panabwera kuti mkulu wake na baby yeve futi modwala pakayeva anamwalira ndiye mu 2004 pamene amuyambisa ku school kumakwero
Prudence Jota reporting for Camnet TV News.
Bishop of the Catholic Diocese in Livingston, Reverend Valentine Kalumba, has appealed to Republican President Hakainde Hichilema to help in fighting alleged fraud that is attached to selection of tenders for awarding contracts under the CDF. Reverend Kalumba has also appealed for the procurement of an ambulance to aid in transferring people seeking medical attention. Meanwhile, Zambia's Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has challenged the church to play an integral role in the utilization of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, in order to spur development in the country. Speaking when he graced the Granite Jubilee Mass at St. Teresa's Catholic Cathedral in Livingston, President Hichilema says for development under the CDF to be seen, there is need for various stakeholders such as the church to play a part.
Yeah, patients continue to suffer, Your Excellency. Since there is no ambulance available, they cannot be transported to a referral hospital. I hope that our humble request will now be heard, since the highest demand in the country is here. It is important to ensure that the process of awarding CDF-related contracts is carried out in a fair and transparent manner. Your Excellency, it seems that Nkani Yama Connections, Naka something, continues.
We would like to work with the church, Bishop, to see how we can add further support to this venture. I know you told me something, I won't say it publicly, which already has yielded from these two facilities for government. But we'd like to work with you a little bit more. Support the church in its entrepreneurial side, in its revenue generation side. That's a subject most Zambians don't want to talk about.
This is the main news on Camnet TV. We now take our first set of commercials. Do join me with more news after the break.
Deborah, have you connected to the Wi-Fi on the bus? It's fast, it's amazing. I've just downloaded my books and I'm about to complete the series. It's nice, too.
No, I'm actually watching a reality show. He's about to propose. Oh, so sweet.
Make your trip seem short yet comfortable and safe when you use the UBZ luxurious fully air-conditioned coaches that come fitted with amazing onboard entertainment, passenger information services, coffee-making facilities and fridge for your hot and cold beverages, free and interrupted Wi-Fi for your gadgets, phone charging facilities, comfortable seats that recline to offer extra resting posture, safety seat belts, adjustable reading lights for each traveling client, and of course, clean flushing toilets for your convenience. So travel in luxury and safety with UBZ luxurious coaches. UBZ will always take you there. From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Live your dream today by playing Nawina Lotto and study chance to win up to 2,000 kwacha every day.
And in order to play Zambia's most trusted lottery, first make sure you have money in your mobile money account.
In order to stand a chance to win, you need to follow these steps. Step number 1, dial *388*6#. Step number 2, select option 1 to buy your ticket. Step number 3, select option 5, which is Camnet. Step number 4, buy 1 ticket for 5 kwacha, 2 tickets for 10 kwacha, or 10 tickets for 50 kwacha. Number 5, enter your mobile PIN to confirm your purchase.
After buying your ticket, you will be entered into the day's draw and a unique code will be sent to you via SMS.
Draws will be done every day right here on Camnet TV, and the winners will be announced right here on Camnet TV every day at 19 hours. Remember, the more tickets you buy, the higher chances of winning. Get busy, Iwe!
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you for staying with us. We now continue with the rest of the news. Oasis of Blessings Assembly General Overseer Bishop Dr. Max Nalumango has called for the country to realign itself to the country's Christian nation status because the activities happening defeat the Christian nation status. Speaking during a prayer rally at the Olympic Youth Development Center, OYDC in Lusaka Saturday, organized by Throne Room Trust Ministry, Bishop Nalumango says nothing will change if the citizenry does not live by the standards of Christianity. Bishop Nalumango also urged citizens to pray for the leaders holding public offices for positivity in the country's state of living and regard prayer as the solution to the current challenges the country is facing. Meanwhile, Throne Room Trust Ministry Vision pioneer Apostle Dr. Emmanuel Kure says restoration of Zambia's economic fortunes is only possible if the country prioritizes prayer.
Has been declared as a Christian nation, but it hasn't lifted to the expected Christian values, Christian activities, and Christian actions. If you don't fight those spirits in State House, if you don't fight the spirit in high places where these ministers stay, don't expect any wealth in Zambia. The condition of this land is in the hands of Christians. Are you with me? If you complain, you who is here, complain about anything in Zambia, look at yourself. You are the key.
The clock of Zambia around and put her on the high mountains that you have preordained Zambia to be. Tonight we demand that. Tonight we command that. Tonight we call forth that. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. In
A political analyst and development expert, Joseph Selisho, has charged that reshuffles in the government are inevitable so long insufficiencies are being recorded. Mr. Selisho says for the sitting president to deliver to the expectations of the electorates, individuals entrusted with public offices should perform in line with the government's developmental agenda. He says reshuffles will be made because the presidency of a country has a time frame to which development must also be aligned. Hence, reshuffles are important to ensure development is speed up.
Reshuffles are inevitable in every society, and there are reasons that trigger these reshuffles. For instance, we've talked about national development that should be anchored on the 8th National Development Plan, the Vision 2030, and the Constitutional Development Fund. Now, for the president to deliver, he needs to have a team that will buy into his vision. And if those individuals cannot buy into the visions, the president has every right, constitutional right, to reshuffle the team, even fire individuals, to ensure that what he promised the people of Zambia is being delivered. So if there have been any reshuffles, they could be inevitable, because the president is in a hurry. He has given a mandate for 5 years, and in that 5 years, development must be seen. A good example is the Constitutional Development Fund. If you have someone that cannot deliver, definitely the only person that will be blamed will be the president. You talked about agriculture. Agriculture is a cornerstone of our economy, and most of the people that voted are found in rural areas. And if we cannot sustain agriculture, agriculture is a sensitive sector. It requires a man or woman that is up with the game to ensure that the set objectives, delivery of fertilizers, delivery of inputs, all kinds, are on time, so that doesn't affect production as an ultimate goal. if inputs are delivered late, what we are saying is the production will be not good enough, and that will affect the yields. And once the yields are affected, these are the problems we are seeing in minimum prices.
Njanji Seventh-day Adventist Church of Lusaka's Libala South has held a community health expo aimed at offering various medical services to the members of the public. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Congregation Pastor George Mwansa has underscored the importance of the church to get engaged in community activities such as provision of healthcare services. Pastor Mwansa says Christians are commanded by God to be keepers of each other as Christ lived through various acts of kindness.
Access to quality health care continues to be a challenge among the ordinary citizens in the country. This is due to lack of adequate medical personnel, medicines, and in some instances, equipment, which result in some citizens seeking medical care when chronically ill. In supplementing government efforts to provide quality health care, Njanji Seventh-day Adventist Church of Lusaka Zaliwala South has held a community health expo. Pastor George Mwansa explains about the initiative.
The earth. We felt that as a congregation we needed to be relevant in the community, and so one way to do this is obviously to organize a community service initiative such as this one, a health expo where we have invited people in the community here as well as our own church members to come and have a free check-up on a number of things.
Needs of our people, not only the physical but also the spiritual. So even as we attend to their physical, we are also introducing them to the greatest physician, who is Jesus Christ. So yeah, the importance of this is that even our people here, when they leave, they can also sensitize other people who can come and be checked in terms of eyes, oral health, and also just a general physical health.
And some beneficiaries have held the church for the health expo, which has enabled them to access free medical services.
Check-ups such as BP. I've been educated how to rest, how to do the exercises.
Yes, I've come here to do my eye checkups. So they are doing well for helping us.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The presidential initiative called the Hakainde Entrepreneurship Mentorship Initiative for Cooperatives has started operating under the umbrella of the Farmers Development Cooperative Union, FDCU. Speaking during the unveiling meeting, FDCU National Chairperson Monze Muleya says such an initiative is meant for Zambians to invest in Zambia through various business ventures as cooperatives. Mr. Muleya explains that the program has a target of supporting 24,000 cooperatives or conglomerates in its first year of operation. Zanis has the details in the following report.
An effective and sustainable cooperative movement provides an opportunity to strengthen the capacity of small-scale enterprises as well as helps reduce poverty in a country. The Hakainde Entrepreneurship Mentorship Initiative for Cooperatives program has started with Farmers Development Cooperative Union, FDCU, spearheading the initiative. The FDCU has organized the first meeting with stakeholders to help create awareness of the initiative and build chiefdom springboards for the implementation of the program at grassroots level.
Registered in March this year with the vision of promoting investment in Zambia by Zambians for Zambia. We want, as Farmers Development Cooperative Union, to change the mindset of the cooperative movement in Zambia to become cooperatives that are aimed at promoting entrepreneurial activities in the cooperative for the benefit of members. Not cooperatives where if they get support, they share the support, and then that is the end of it.
Development Cooperative Union wants the Zambians to own businesses, to have ownership
especially of farming. The target is that Zambian, that hardworking Zambian who wants to make a change, who wants to be a part of growth in this country. So the people that we have targeted are people who are interested, who've got the, our common views, and everyone is welcome.
Queen Kaputa from Northern Province spoke on behalf of other queens who are representing their different chiefdoms across the country.
We have noted with appreciation the efforts exhibited by our spouses in spearheading development in our chiefdoms, so we have chosen to be birds of the same feather, so we can fly together in bringing about development in our chiefdoms through embracing the cooperative initiative, because that is a way to go if we have to empower their communities. It becomes therefore of great importance to interact with yourselves, the Hakainde Entrepreneurship Mentorship Initiative, in short the HICHILEMA, and be mentored by you sufficiently to allow us to run effectively with our spouses in fostering rural development.
Such initiatives, when properly implemented, will help foster development, especially in rural areas, and help uplift the living standards of the local people. Nkwetoka Pekele, Zanis Chilanga.
The Independent Churches of Zambia, ICO's President Bishop David Masupe, has urged the church to desist from being politically inclined. Speaking during the 20th anniversary celebration of the Global World of Life Church, Bishop Masupe expressed delight that the church decided to invite him as a guest of honor instead of inviting a politician who would preach forcefully and bring about tribalism and nepotism in the country, regardless of which party they belong to. And in his preaching, Bishop David Miti of Global Word of Life Church encouraged congregants to live by the principles of God.
In the kingdom of God, which has spilled over even to the political world. I want to tell you something. The confusion you are seeing in the kingdom of God is the manifestation of what you are seeing even in the governance and the political life of many countries today. If Bishop Daniel wanted, he could have invited a politician.
You cannot go to God directly. There must be a life which can go to God to ask you on your behalf. And that life is the life of Jesus Christ. The human life of God. The one which God gave to the human race. That human race, this is the life. If you want to communicate with me, this is the life. But it's not verbal. When you say in the name of Jesus, you are saying you're living the name of your.
In my fellow youths, as you can see, I'm a youth from the Word of Life Pentecostal Assemblies, and I've been brought up to this extent because of the Word of God, the things that we've been learning, which is love, forgiveness, being kind, and sharing. All this and many more has brought us this far. For that reason, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of this church through harmony.
We now take our final set of commercials. I will be back with sports and international news after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Are you planning to marry or get married? Contact the Camnet media team for a professional capturing of your big day in life. Let your relatives, friends, and the nation join you in celebrating your big day on television. Just at a manageable fee, Camnet Television will cover and transmit your wedding on your channel of choice. Contact the marketing department on mobile number. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
I give my love to having home.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
That's a report I was given. Ati sayendako bosi ati mzako muntu ekani tupumuleko please tulina banja knife speta chambe nyambo konkera, because if I don't go to their doorsteps, the relation is a sira. Better vis-a-vis. Let me start dealing with this vis-a-vis. I'm a doorstep, head on.
At your doorstep. Time 11 hours to 12 hours every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and repeats from 18 to 19 hours every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Thank you for still staying with us. And now, in international news, thousands of Nigerians gathered near France military base in Niamey to celebrate the departure of Paris's ambassador earlier this week, about a month after the military junta ordered him to leave. But anti-French activists say the battle is not yet over. Demonstrator Mohamed Abdul Latif says the victory is not a total victory for this revolution, but only the beginning. Abdul Latif called on the entire population of Niger to mobilize as one until the last French soldier leaves Niger. Here's a roundup of international news.
A young doctor cares for a baby, just a few days old. But soon, Vitalina may hold the life of a soldier in her hands. She plans on volunteering to be a frontline medic in Ukraine's war with Russia.
I understand that the risks are quite high, but we live in Ukraine, and there is even a risk of dying here. No one ever knows their fate. I'm ready to take these risks now.
She made up her mind when a close friend was killed on the battlefield, but she has not told her parents yet. Starting from October the 1st, Ukraine's defense ministry has ordered women with medical backgrounds to register for military service. Unlike men, they won't be restricted from leaving the country unless mobilized for active duty. A record number of women have already signed up to fight. Ksenia and her husband run a non-profit organization providing equipment and uniforms specifically tailored for women, filling a gap in the supply chain.
In the beginning we had 30 requests per month. Now it is more than 50 requests per day. It can be for basic uniform, underwear, a bulletproof vest or a helmet, even a drone, a car or a paramedic's backpack.
Each box leaving the warehouse is personal. Ksenia's sister-in-law is on the front line and her husband was killed in action.
We often receive requests and the next day half of these are not needed because the people have died. Recently we sent one of our girls a parcel with a uniform. She was very happy. 2 days later she was dead.
Tens of thousands of women have volunteered and are serving
in Ukraine's military. For now, the mandatory registration for women applies only to the medical profession. And while there are no plans to go beyond that, it is something that could change the longer the war drags on. Ukrainians began volunteering when the invasion happened, but the military acknowledges not everyone is keen to fight.
No one is born for war. A child is not born knowing that it will be necessary to go to war and fight. Everyone is scared, and it's really scary. And all are heroes, both men and women, until the first artillery barrage.
Oksana says women choosing to serve in Ukraine's armed forces are taking on medical combat and leadership roles. Warrior women defending their motherland. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
Amid widespread anti-French sentiment, a victory for Niger, as some 1,000 people gathered near France's military base in Niamey. They're celebrating the departure earlier this week of Paris's ambassador, about a month after the military junta ordered him to leave. But activists say the battle is not over yet.
Our
committee is here to celebrate a first victory, that of the departure of the French ambassador to Niger. But this victory is not, if you like, a total victory for this revolution. It's only the beginning. We call on the entire population of Niger to mobilize as one until the last French soldier leaves Niger. Now that the ambassador's left, you can say that we've already won. We're overjoyed. But just because he's gone doesn't mean that we're going to stay at home and say, it's over, we've won. No, we're going to continue the fight. They're now waiting for France to withdraw its around 1,500 soldiers from Niger, which Paris says will take place before the end of the year, dealing a blow to its influence in the country. We're more or less satisfied with the withdrawal timetable because, knowing a bit about logistics, it's equipment that's been deployed for over 12 years, installation and so on, so dismantling it, packing it up and taking it on board takes time. France has kept soldiers in the country as part of an anti-jihadist deployment in the region. The regime says it's planning its future relations with Paris, the form of which will be dictated by the people of Niger.
And now in sports news, DIABLES of Congo-Brazzaville have beaten FC MUZA of Zambia by 2-0 in the Confederation of African Football CAF second round. Jean Omibas opened the scoreline in the 69th minute to put DIABLES in the lead after the first half ended goalless. Gloria Onike came up with a late goal for NOIRS to put them in the lead with 2 goals, securing their passage to the group stages. However, chances were also seen for the FC MUZA after Andrew Piri broke with a counter and slotted a pass to Luchanga, who beats the marker and shot wide. A setback of MUZA was also seen in the first half after Sydney Kasanda was sent off the pitch after being given a red card. That item brings us to the end of the news, but before I go, let's take a look at the stories making headlines. A consortium of CSO'S challenged former President EDGAR Lungu to make his political stance known. The Catholic Church appeals to President HICHILEMA to help fight alleged fraud in tender awards. Opposition leaders condemn the monthly fuel price review. And in international news, thousands celebrate departure of French ambassador from Niger. And in sports news, DIABLES defeat FC MUZA by 2-0. We now look at our Camnet verse of the day, coming from the book of 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 8. Therefore, anyone who rejects this instruction does not reject a human being, but God, the very God who gives you his Holy Spirit. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Do have a productive week ahead. Good night, and thank you for watching.